Well, thank you again. I think this is a time when everybody's waiting for. Sort of. Um, so before I start my closing remarks, it's not too late for us to acknowledge our, like to do a land grant acknowledgement because we didn't do it yesterday. So as a land grant institution, UCLA acknowledged the Gabrielino and Tongva peoples as the traditional land caretakers of the vanguard, Los Angeles Basin, and Channel Islands, and are grateful to have the opportunity to work for the Tarasotam indigenous peoples in this place. Research and teaching of endangered and marginalized languages in East and Southeast Asia. I want to extend a heartfelt thank you to all our speakers and in person and virtual attendees. Despite despite the chaos and uncertainties of this week, your participation and contribution have made this symposium a great success. I also want to express deep appreciation to all the staff, again, faculty and students who have been working tirelessly behind the scenes to make this event possible. It has been quite a roller coaster ride for us. So we will finally be able to sleep like a baby tonight. And again, special thanks to Professor Soichi Ifasaki, the driving force behind this symposium. And again, many thanks to our staff, Jeannie, uh, Aaron, Moet, Arturo, Tomoko, and our graduate students, Distant Brooke, our student workers, Joyce, Tiffany, and Ashi. Our chairs, Professor Sumok Song, Professor Michiko Kanyasu, and Professor Kai Zuro. And our graduate students, E. Han, Janafi, Chungwan, and Lising for their assistance in chairing and timekeeping. Now, I want to take a moment to acknowledge the impactful work of our speakers in language documentation and revitalization. Your dedication to preserving marginalized and endangered languages is truly inspiring. I also want to recognize the contribution of those affiliated with this cause, students, local linguists, and community members who have been instrumental in supporting and advancing this important work. Reflecting on the common themes discussed in these past 2 days, the speakers' insights shed light on the challenges faced by marginalized and endangered languages. The decline in the use of the languages, low intergenerational transmission, and self and institutional marginalization are poignant issues that many of us can relate to personally. I too lost the opportunity to communicate with my grandmother and my parents in my heritage languages, Hokkien and Mandarin, due to self and institutional marginalization and political and societal factors. Chinese was banned when I grew up in Indonesia. My grandmother exclusively spoke Hokkien, originally from Xiamen or Amoy, the place pointed out by Professor Nalali earlier. She and I had very limited interaction due to the language barrier. We hardly communicated, and I don't know much about her story. My memories of our brief interactions were not particularly pleasant. I recall her chasing me with a mattress beater to ensure I showered in the early afternoon. She was quite strict about our hygiene. I understand about that, but why before 3 or 4 p.m.? So when I still, wanted to play around and run around. In Indonesia, the situation with marginal and endangered languages is very complex. The focus on national language Bahasa Indonesia by government institutions like the Agency for Language Development and Cultivation often overlooks the importance of local languages, leading to neglect and further marginalization. On a positive note, we have heard and learned about grassroots movements promoting cultural identity and pride through language preservation efforts. This movement leads to the teaching of local language posing, the local language spoken in my hometown, Banyuwangi, in East Java, in a few elementary schools. Preserving East Javanese through dangdut music, a popular music genre in Indonesia, a fusion of Hindustani, Arabic, and local folk music, highlights the agency of younger generations in reclaiming and preserving their linguistic heritage. Moving forward, we have learned that community engagement and capacity building will be crucial. We need to empower local people to become linguists and educators, producing educational materials like books in local languages to ensure their continued use and vitality. Let us carry forward the momentum from this symposium to continue with our effort and commitment in preserving and revitalizing indigenous languages for generations to come. Thank you all once again for your dedication and passion. Okay, now I have a couple of announcements. So that's the end of our symposium. Give everybody a big